What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Kaike. I'm back with another one. So I decided I'm gonna start off my tier list a little different this month. You guys know I only focus on units that are actually competitive, and so some people ask me sometimes why I never show my full tier list, and that's the reason why. So this time I actually set up my own tier list, but some of the units, like the little pictures for setting up the own tier list, they weren't actually on there. So I decided I'll just hop into the game and go into the character list and give my thoughts on the units that I couldn't put on the actual tier list, because they're so new that they didn't have the pictures up on the little tier list maker.com, whatever. And I don't it would take me too long to build a whole tier list from scratch. So there's that. I guess that's the cost for me not just using somebody else's tier list this time around. So let's start off with this Goku, one of the more newer units. Now, I definitely think this Goku is somewhere between S and S plus. Really solid support unit as far as what he provides. I think he's just like a solid support unit. Like, he doesn't really do anything we haven't seen before, but he's definitely good. Like, he gets 50% strike damage. He gets extra 50 blast damage when he has a Saiyan Saga or Tag Saiyan on the squad, which is pretty easy for him to get. Let's see, it flicks attribute downgrade, so he's all around like a solid unit. Like, I already looked at this kid and all that stuff. I already seen like a few videos that are like he's all around a pretty solid unit, but with like he's just like I said, I don't think he's doing anything that we haven't seen before, and he's not doing any too spectacular, but he's definitely really good. So I definitely think he's worthy of being S plus. It's debatable. Like, you guys are always gonna hear me say it's debatable in these tier lists, because it's debatable. Like, tier lists, it all depends like on your play style. It may depends on the unit you have, on units you have. It may depends on the scenarios that you're using the unit, and you may see a unit as better. So I'm always gonna be like, you're always gonna hear me saying that, like, what a unit is debatable. Now, off the jump, this Piccolo, Legends Limited Piccolo, I definitely think that this guy is probably, I definitely want to say that. I want to say that Legends Limited Piccolo, I want to say he's S plus. Like, he's a solid defensive unit. Like, this one I could probably change my mind about this, but I know that like he's probably going to be like just seen as super broken because he's already so tanky, bro. Like, look at this, bro. Like, they gave him Majin Buu's type ability where he's able to just like heal on top of just they're able to take reduced damage. It's just ridiculous. Like, he's gonna be taking like reducing damage and just healing all the damage that he takes. And like they already have a unit that does that, like the the good Majin Buu, Fat Buu. So the fact that they're getting another unit like this and he's yellow, like the unit like Regen has not got a new yellow in a long time. Even though Cell is still a phenomenal option, don't get it twisted. Still definitely crazy that they decided to drop a LF for this team for Regen, and they decided that they were going to make him a defensive unit, the first defensive LF, and he is going to be really tanky. So he's a defensive unit and he plays his role as a defensive unit. Outside of that, like, he has some good utility, like the increased draw speed is good here after he transform. He gets a permanent 60% of blast damage. Oh yeah, he also is one of the first units to ever be like viable, like to made to work best for co-op, opening a new mechanic. So he does 20% of damage inflicted by allies or your buddy. So he helps your buddy and co-op do more damage. So definitely we'll have to see how like good that would age in time, him being one of the first like units to be like dominant in co-op. But definitely all around, he's just a pretty solid defensive unit. He's gonna be able to dish out some pretty solid damage, nothing too spectacular. Most of his damage is probably going to come from his ultimate, his special move here, which is also a LF, and also probably his blast cards, because he is anti-armor. So if he's going up against somebody with like blast armor and he gets his blast card off, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. So all around, I want to say he's S plus. Debatable Z tier as far as what he is as a defensive unit, but no, he's not doing anything too crazy, but what he does provide for the team is really solid. Gonna be a stupid unit. He's gonna be so crazy and taking to go up against. All right, so Raditz off the jump, I want to say Raditz is probably S as well. Like, all of these units are honestly just about S plus. They're all really solid, to be honest, because this is not my first time looking at their kit, obviously, but really solid unit. Like, he has a blast card that restores vantage gauge, so that's completely new to the game. Never seen anything like that, and it's just like if you're doing like, he doesn't have increased art draw speed. Like, if he had that combined with this would have been a dummy combination. That would have been a stupid combination, bro. But he doesn't, sadly. But Definitely would have been cool to see that. His green card is kind of meh, like with the random chance with the debuffs, just kind of meh. Not too much of a big fan with that. Also, one of the first other units to also buff Saga, Saiyan Saga, so that's pretty cool as well. So there's that. So he's one of those units that's going to be doing a lot of damage really early in the game. Then he gets an extra damage buff when he's going up against Regen and Saiyans. I was just looking at it. I was about to forget. Yeah, he also does another extra damage buff when when he has a Saiyan on the squad with him as well. The thing that really caught my attention the most about his kit is that he gives himself like his own critical rate, like 50% to critical rate, which is not stupid high, but still like anything to crit, like that's still solid that he just gives himself like crits on top of all the little extra damage and the key recovery. If he had increased art draw speed for like anywhere in his kit, I would have probably put this guy in S plus for sure with no debate. But I'll put him in S plus, but debatable you can put him lower. But I definitely think he's S plus somewhere around there. Like never thought the day I would see a sparking Raditz be top tier. Like Legends is weird like that, man. Like Raditz. Oh, I'm all over the place. Raditz is gonna be out here bodying like half of these units in the game. That's crazy. Fucking Raditz, can you believe it? Like Legends is crazy, right? So this Frieza, right? I know it might be debatable. I know a lot of people are definitely not gonna put this guy in Z or probably not even S plus, just because of the fact that he's a support Legends limited unit. He's what he provides for the team is pretty solid, but he's not honestly doing anything like too spectacular in my personal opinion. Like he's definitely really good for what he provides. Don't get me wrong. He has cover rescue that is chainable as well. That's pretty solid. I know he has telekinesis just like all the other first form Freezers. Yeah, that's pretty solid. His ultimate does a lot of damage, by the way. His ultimate is pretty much like the most powerful thing about his kit overall. And I know like some people, I always try to say don't get swayed by damage. Oh yeah, he also holds an arts card. I actually forgot about that. That's really good. I always say don't get swayed by damage, but like he's gonna be able to dish out some decent damage here and there, but that's really not his role. He's a support unit, and what he provides as a support unit and being an LF for the team as well is still pretty solid. Don't think he's doing anything like we haven't seen before, so that's why I know like I definitely can't put him in Z tier, but I definitely can put this guy in S for sure. It's debatable S plus, but for right now he's just in base S for me. My opinion definitely might change. So now we go to the final one, the god himself. Oh no, we actually have to talk about Syn after this. So Bardock, I off the jump, I'm not even gonna cap Bardock Z, bro. Like he's Z tier. Like this guy is dumb. Like bro, like I'm just gonna show you just a little tab of this, right, bro? Look at that. Takes away unfavorable element factors for 30 time accounts and has no switch for 10 time accounts. Right there, and then he already has two of the best abilities that you can give any unit in the game, and he just gets that just for popping his main. Taking in mind that this is his second main, and he does have like a slightly weird transformation condition before he can actually transform to get this main ability, but still like two things he's doing, and then he's restoring his vintage gauge on top of that. His green card, his main ability, his second main ability does four things. He's drawing a special arts card, he's restoring his vintage gauge, he's inflicting you a non-switch, and then he's take away type disadvantage for 30 time accounts. It only takes 10 time accounts to like that's already a crazy sign. Plus this guy has this guy's a fucking cover rescue, bro. Why, bro? He has a cover rescue on top of having all of this, and then I don't even need to show you guys all this. He's just like, this is just all him showing how much like damage he's gonna be able to output. When he's with a Team Bardock unit, he gets like -5 tone arts cross. But only thing that his transformation is heavily dependent on a unit dying, right? So look at this. So until one of the following conditions is met, your main ability will be sealed from the battle start. One ally is defeated 50 time accounts at his last. So he can't really my voice kind of cracked there. He can't actually transform until like this says 5 time accounts. This is why it's kind of confusing. It kind of acts with each other. I guess this is for if like you have an ally that dies within 5 time accounts. I don't think any ally would die that damn quick, but there's that. But yeah, he needs one ally to die before he can transform, and it has to be all the 50 time accounts to elapse. So I guess that's the cost of them making his transformation so goddamn powerful that they had to put that like restriction on it, which is not a terrible restriction, but it definitely still have to play smart with him. He's like indestructible, but he is gonna be able to output ridiculous amount of damage, and what he's able to do is just gonna be stupid, bro. He's gonna be able to lock you in. He's gonna be able to He's stupid, bro. He just has too much in his kit. His utility is like crazy. He's Z tier without a doubt. Saiyans actually needed a pretty solid monster like him. So here we are. We are with Syn Shenron. So Syn Shenron, he's cool and all that. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Shenron is probably A or low S. Barely probably sliding into S. I probably think A. He's not very impressive at all, and that's sad to say because I wanted him to be good for GT, but he's not really all that like crazy. Like he's not stupid bad, but he's just not really all that crazy. Anyway, because he has his main ability. It debuffs you a lot. Pretty solid, like pretty good for like the time because it does debuff you. But the reason why this is not too crazy because I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of units that are just immune to debuffs nowadays. So like I've never like if this is the best thing his kit has to offer, then that's not really all that impressive. Just because of that one point that I pointed out right there alone. Like for what he is as a for on the team, he does provide what I think GT kind of needed, which was another solid defensive unit and a yellow unit. They really need a yellow unit mostly, but he's just really not that impressive. He's gonna be like and like you can't use him at all like for damage wise if somebody doesn't get a rise rush or something like that, because he doesn't get any damage buffs until actually somebody activates a rise rush or you activate a rise rush. Like his damage is so dirt, his damage is ass if he doesn't get a rise rush. Like you don't even want to whip him out or anything like that. So it's like nah, bro, it's just he's okay. He's just okay to me. He's not really all that crazy good. He's going to be a solid defensive unit, but outside of that, literally, he offers pretty much almost nothing except for his debuffs and his pretty solid defense. So nothing too crazy or nothing too spectacular. His green card is pretty solid. He can chain off of that. And then randomly draws one new card. But outside of that, it's nothing really here too impressive. I mean, his special move 50% to reduce enemies Dragon Ball by one hit is still pretty solid, but it's all just like good stuff that's good, but it doesn't come together to make him where I could say that he's just like straight up like Z or anything or S plus. I'll say A, debatable S minus S plus, somewhere around there. So finally, we're going into the last new unit that I was able to put on the main tier list. And we have Baby Vegeta. Now, Baby Vegeta, without a doubt, Baby Vegeta, I think he is what probably Saiyans and GT actually pretty needed. Yo, I didn't think about, bro. This guy's gonna be a stupid option to run with Bardock. Oh shit, bro. If I Ooh, I didn't think about that. That's actually gonna be really good. But off the jump, Super Baby 2, not Super Baby 2, I'm tripping. Baby Vegeta, he basically kind of does what like Super Baby 2 kind of does, but just more. Like you could tell Super Baby 2 anyway was kind of designed like they're both support units, and it's crazy because they're both Baby Vegeta units. But Super Baby 2 is obviously designed like to where he's always just gonna work best on regen. That 50% to health restoration, like it doesn't really mean much on GT because there aren't that many units that just heal like that, except for Syn Shenron and just Syn Shenron and SJ for Goku, but they heal like slightly, like compared to the regen units where everybody literally heals every goddamn second. Like they don't, like GT does not utilize that health restoration as much as what's the name does, as regen does. But so there's that. So he's anti-Vegeta family, so I definitely expect that we're going to get a powerful Vegeta family unit soon in the future, just because of that. Because right now Vegeta family is really dirt, and it was really no reason for them to make him anti-Vegeta family if the team wasn't going to get a powerful unit in the future. So all around, he just restores ki. 30% damage. Like he's just all around a good support unit. I'm not gonna break down his full kit. Like I've seen what he's done before. He's able to outdo some pretty solid, decent damage. If he's going up against a Vegeta friendly unit as well, he does really some pretty good damage, but nothing too crazy as far as he is as a unit. But for what he is as a support unit, I really do like actually the way he's set up. And with these new Saiyan units, he's actually gonna be a really good unit. You probably want to slide on there. So I definitely probably put this guy in S plus somewhere around there. Probably just S because he's good. He isn't doing anything we haven't seen any before, but his kit is good, and what he provides as a support unit is really solid. So those are all the new units that I was able to slide on the main tier list. So we're going to over here just slide into the main tier list. Now I'm probably going to go through that one a little quicker because those are units I've talked about so many times in all my other tier lists. So yeah, so we're going to just slide over. All right. So now we're on the full tier list here, and I feel like I'm probably going to be talking through these units a lot more faster now, honestly, because I've just talked about all these units so much. But I do have still some of my opinions on some of these units. Let's get straight into it. So the Zenkai units, still the same. I still feel like Beerus and Boo are probably the best, and I think now Gohan. This is more of a prediction. His Zenkai Awakening has only been out for a day, so nobody really has him Zenkai Awakening. But off of what I've seen, how good he's gonna like his kit, I predict that he's gonna be up there with one of the best of them in my personal opinion. That's just me, but I definitely can change my opinion. My opinions always kind of change on the Zenkai units a lot because sometimes it depends because you got to get some more Zenkai levels on some of them for them to be viable. So there's that. So enough talking about the Zenkai units. Let's just get straight into Z tier as well. So SJ for Goku, still think he's Z tier. He still just have an amazing amount of utility, being able to heal every time. Is it all this? It's all every time he comes in or every time he switches to standby. It's one of the two. It's kind of about the same anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yes, being having it heal every time by 10%. Really solid. Having a damage reduction, I find me using him sometimes as a semi support unit a lot of the time. Not support unit, semi defensive unit sometimes when I know he could just come in and just probably tank a little bit, a decent amount of damage, because 35% is a pretty solid damage cut for an offensive unit like him. He has no reduced art cost on his strike cost. He's just all around a solid unit. Done talking about him. Vegito, I've talked about this unit so many times. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about it no more. Vegito he's still Z tier, bro. Like, I still like the ability to take away attribute upgrades is still one of the most like craziest abilities in the game. Like I like there's no other unit I don't think that has that ability, and it's for good reason. Like, that ability is stupid, ridiculous, and it's one of the reasons why he's still top tier. That, and he just gets massive damage buffs for pretty much your enemy just doing just about anything, pretty much. So there's that. So Gohan, SJ2 Gohan, I definitely think that he's still Z tier. Really all around solid unit. I don't think anybody who's playing PvP right now does it. Like, you guys know how good this guy is. His green card is probably the most annoyingest thing for me. Well, it's the green card and the lock-in, but I've started to learn how to get around the lock-in at this point. But that doesn't make it any less annoying. So there's that, and he's just able to output some really stupid damage. I've seen this Gohan hit through type advantage on SJ for Vegeta. That's what I was like, damn, Vegeta, you too much of a glass cannon. But there's that. So Bojack, I know it's debatable. Some people think that Bojack is just S plus, and some people would just think that he's just that he may be still Z. I personally still kind of think he's Z. I guess it's debatable if it's S plus for you, but I still think that the fact that his cover rescue could just like stop anything but rise rushes is still one of the most craziest abilities in the game. Like like ultimates, special moves, anything. I mean, take in mind, it does sacrifice 15% of the person you're swapping out from health by 15%. But when you can stop a whole ultimate, like, it doesn't really matter, because that can save your, like, that could turn the tide of a whole match, being able to stop somebody's ultimate. Honestly, I think the thing is why some people may knock him down is just because a lot of people know to play smart around him. Just kind of the same thing with LF Goku, the blue one. I feel like a lot of people learned how to start playing smart with him, so he got knocked down. But I still feel like he's Z. Android 21, new addition to the Z family. I think she definitely Z tier. Like, her kit honestly is just kind of simple, but it gets the job done. Like, her stats are crazy. She's able to heal every time she's in a match. Her special move, if she has a full hand, can one shot damn near almost like any unit in the game. Like, she's just an offensive juggernaut. And usually I don't try and like say like go off of a unit put in a Z tier just off of pure damage, but like, when you think about like how much damage she's able to output by herself alone, plus you add in the fact that she's healing every time, for every second, just like all the other regen units when she transform, and the fact that what made me really put her in Z tier is that the fact that she's so, like, she's still able to output like crazy damage even when she's in her base form. Like, I've gone up at times where I just like almost deleted of somebody and she's not even transformed yet. That's why I was like, yeah, she's definitely like Z tier level damage. Just really stupid the amount of damage that Android 21 is able to output. Really solid unit in my personal opinion. Even without the free to play Android 21, I think feel like she's Z tier. Like, the damage is she's just silly, bro. And then she has a green card where she could permanently stack her damage. Like, that's just she's just dumb, bro. She's able to output crazy damage, and increase our draw speed. Let me stop asking Android 21, please. Let me stop. Android 21. Oh, don't do it to her. But yeah, LF Vegeta. I don't even think I need to talk about that at this point. LF Vegeta is a goddamn monster. I actually summoned on his banner a little bit. That's actually the reason why I'm such a broke boy. If you guys saw my account earlier when I was on my main account, showing you guys the newer units, that's why I was such a broke boy, because I actually went in a little bit on his banner trying to get him in. I actually didn't pull him, so I actually kind of regret that. But no, there's that. No, LF Vegeta, a really solid unit. The things he's able to do is just ridiculous. Like the reduce on his arts cost, to increase the double and increase art draw speed. He's just dumb all around. I don't need to talk about it no more. That's it. So those are the Z tier units. They're really, really solid. So let's get into S plus. So Reg number. This isn't in any particular number order, by the way. So keep that in mind. I never do stuff in number order when it comes to the tiers. It's just whoever I see first, I kind of just slap them in there. And this is the first time I ever set up my own tier list. So there's that. So yeah, I kind of just was just slapping units based off how I feel about them and just kind of breaking them down in my head as I was like putting them in the tiers. So Janemba, he's definitely S plus. His green card is just ridiculous. Makes him like, bro, he can go into a green card and just like take away, like demolish somebody's health with one of his special moves. It's actually pretty stupid. Really, really all around solid unit. Like he's just I'm at like he's the red unit that I thought Kid Buu was gonna be. I always say this every time because Kid Buu was just such a disappointment to me personally, but he's just all around just a crazy unit. Now, this transforming God Vegeta, or Super Saiyan Vegeta that goes into God Vegeta, my opinions on him were kind of wishy-washy last time, especially since he's new. Like, that's why you guys got to keep up with my tier list, because, like, by a month's time, I'm pretty sure my opinions are going to change on some of the newer units that we're looking at now, because Legends just dropped so many units that, no, by the time I make my tier list, some of these units are just way too fresh for me to have a super solid opinion. But like by a month's time, I usually always do, so that's why you got to keep up with it. But yeah, my opinions were wishy-washy on this guy transforming Vegeta, but now that I've got it, I pulled him and I got into using him. I see more videos on him. He is like ridiculous. His damage output is really insane, and even me, I try not to go trickle off the damage, but he's able to offer is just crazy. But I feel like even though he's really solid, I think even though he's really good, he's not what Vegeta family needed, but he's definitely a crazy top tier unit. Really good. Don't sleep at him at all. He's able to output a stupid amount of damage. That's really all he can do. Because the only reason why I don't put him higher is just because once he loses that, like those buffs that he gets after popping his second main, like it's kind of just like damn. Like his damage is kind of whack after that. But he's really still all around a pretty solid unit. Pretty good. So there's that. So Cell, still think he's S plus even with the new LF Piccolo. Sadly to say that I don't think he's gonna get completely knocked off the team, because not like this. He's still an LF unit. Not everybody's gonna have him, so Cell is still gonna be the go-to sub option, but definitely you're not gonna see him as much. And I know just because some two people don't see certain units, they like knocking them down, but like Cell, like he's going on a year old now. Like he's officially gonna be a year old, like just a few days, like 5 or 4 days for me making this video. He has like not many units. I said this so many times. I said this in all my tier list videos. Cell is one of my favorite villains, by the way. Not trying to be biased here, but there's not many units of Legends. The amount of units that Legends drops is not that many units that can age as well as Cell. There aren't that many units that have aged this well as Cell. It's just amazing to see it. And I just love to see it, man. Really don't see it too much in Legends. I think him and probably the Blue Gogeta are probably the only units, in my personal opinion, that have aged like really well since the day of their release. So there's that. So LF Goku, still think that he's all around a really solid unit. Still one of the best last man standing in a game, last man standing units. But I just feel like at this point, it's like everybody knows how to get around this guy at this point. It's like really easy to get around him, and really you just gotta play really smart. That doesn't mean like it's still not annoying trying to force out tackles and baits, and it still can be hard to deal with him in some scenarios. But with the way that they buffed him, not buffed him, but like kind of slightly debuffed him like last time with the balance changes, it made it a little hard for him to just lean back all the time 24/7 and just get off his special move. So there's that. So yeah, and plus, like I said, most people just know how to play around him. So I definitely still like he's definitely top tier. He's gonna be an S plus for a while, but it's debatable that you can still put him in Z, in my personal opinion. But I feel like he's just at S plus where he's at in the meta. Still really solid. Like taking in mind, some people get offended when their favorite unit is not in Z tier or certain tiers. Like, bro, S plus is still like one of the best units in the game. Take that in mind. I don't know why some people get so offended. Like, why isn't he in Z tier? Like, no, bro. Like, bro, S plus, like that's still top tier. Anywhere S is still top tier. That means they're still one of the best units in the game. So SJ4 Vegeta. I already said this last month, and ever since his release. Like, the reason why he's an S plus is just because he's just too much of a glass cannon. Like, he can output some really crazy damage, really solid all around blast unit. But as far as that's all he really offers to the table, and that's really just all he offers. He's just a glass cannon, really powerful offensive unit. But no, it has some support with his main ability, but that's all he really offers. Now, Green Gogeta, really solid all around unit. His green card is really good. It's really actually kind of annoying. I almost, or did I can't remember. I think I almost lost a match because of that. Because I forgot that his green card completely just immobilized you like that. So there's that. He's a really all around solid unit. Just a pure offensive unit as well, so not really much to it, but what he offers to fusions as a whole, he's just like exactly what they needed for a green unit. So definitely S plus, and then plus his damage is really insane. So there's that. SSB Kaioken Goku. Now it's debatable. I was debating putting this guy in S or L, but I left him in S plus because he's able to outdo a lot. But I always say I'm just not a fan of time transformations. He's probably the only one that I'm not gonna say I'll let slide, but he's just all around just a crazy offensive unit. He's able to output so much good damage. It's just the fact that I'm just not ever going to be like time transformation units will never be Z tier in my personal opinion. Like, they have to make it like stupid next level broken. I don't think time transformations it may happen one day, but I just personally can't see it, a time transformation unit like just becoming Z tier. Like, that's just one negative big thing that's just always gonna hold them back. So there's that. So Super Baby 2, I'll put him at S plus because no, Super Baby 2, as far as what he does, oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. He provides good support for the team overall. He really does. As far as that's pretty much it. Like, he's able to be outdish some decent damage because he's a hybrid Saiyan. He's anti-hybrid Saiyan. He's saying as well. I'm all over the place. He's able to output some really solid damage because he's anti-hybrid Saiyan and Saiyan as well, and he has the buff with his health restoration. He's just all around a perfect unit regen needs as a support unit. But outside of that, he doesn't really offer too much. And his damage can be poop at times if he's not going up against a hybrid Saiyan or a Saiyan. So there's that. So Blue Gogeta, really solid unit. Don't think I need to really talk about this unit too much. I always say him and Cell are probably the units I think aged well in like all metas since they've been released. They just all around so good, crazy units, and still able to output really crazy amount of solid damage, even though they're both just about to be hitting on being like a year old. They're about to be it's about to be an anniversary for those two units. So really solid. Rose, I really I like Rose, I really do, but I never thought he was Z, and I know a lot of people thought he was Z, but he's just a really solid unit. His debuffs are really cool. That's the fact that he just doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be there in the match and like automatic permanent debuffs on the whole team for like for the whole match. So that's one of his just best assets as far as anything else. One of the things I have to say I slightly hold him back a little bit is that I notice every time I use him, his key recovery is just so bad, bro. I mean, if you get a green card, it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of not. It's hard to not notice sometimes when you use him so much, because when he came out, I was using him a lot. I was using him on a future team with Cell, Future Gohan, and this guy. I was running that team, and every time they would bring a blue unit, I'll pop my main so I can take away type disadvantage. And use Rose as like a semi counter units any blue unit. So there's that. All around a solid unit though. This purple Gohan, not Gohan, I'm all over the place, bro. This purple Goku, this purple SSG Goku. Now I fought against him a lot in this 14-star season and stuff like that with Ultimate Battle. I fought against a lot of these units a lot because I played a lot of PvP, and definitely without a doubt, I must say, bro, he is pretty much a like all around a solid defensive unit. Definitely, I feel like he's what I definitely feel like he's what Gaki needed as far as like new units, because Gaki, they really didn't have any like solid defensive unit before him. I can't really think of any, and just me not being able to think of any just shows off the bat that year. There's probably just not, there was never no like solid defensive unit that they could just go to or swing to. So he really was a good buff for them. What he's able to offer, like his green card, another immobilized type green card, is just really annoying. Like, just you can just go like straight into a Rise Rush. You guys know how it goes with immobilized green cards. Like, what really pisses me off when I fight this guy is when he causes your strike cards, like, and like all your arts cards to go to like 75. Like, one time I fought this guy and I tried to go for my special move, and then I noticed, I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, bro, why is my special move 75? And I clicked it by mistake and just like lost all my key. It just it was just like really, really stupid, really, really stupid. All around good support unit. So now I'm gonna take a look at S. So S, we have the free to play Android 21. All around, she's just a really good unit. I don't think she's anything like too spectacular. Like, she's good. Like, she's good for what she had as a support unit. And obviously she was designed to be the summonable version of Android 21. She was designed just to be her best friend in that scenario. I really do like her just because she like plays a support role for multiple teams, and you can slap her on to multiple teams. And her Android 21 did help buff androids a lot, so she's all around a solid unit. Blue Vegeta, just transform Blue Vegeta, really all around a good solid unit. Still think that he's not gonna say he's better than the current transformer Vegeta, but I definitely think that he's still solid. Like, he's still all around solid. But the other transformer Vegeta, he just has higher highs. If you guys understand, like, when his damage is at his like highest peak, he's gonna be able to do way more things, like, as far as damage wise. But no, as far as overall, I think the more solid and balanced unit is this Blue Vegeta. Still all around solid unit. Solid unit. This Zenkai Goku. Now, I really am not, like, I'm not gonna say I'm not the biggest fan with him. Like, honestly, he's good, but he's very situational. If he's not going up against a Hybrid Saiyan or a Saiyan, like, his damage is still gonna be impressive, but it's just not gonna be like crazy to what we're at got to like used to seeing with other Zenkai units and stuff like that. And outside of that, like, he's just about, like, honestly, I feel like he's just about meh compared to all the rest of the Zenkais. Like, when you look at all the rest of the Zenkais, he's just kind of, I want to say he's the worst one. But I'll have to fully see how Gohan's looking. But Gohan is already looking better than him. So other than he's still going to be really solid as far as how you're able to like utilize him on future, and still how you're like going to use him when you're going up against hybrid Saiyans and stuff like that. But overall, like, his last two uniques are just not impressive compared to some of the other Zenkai units. So he's just an S. He's just really situational. If he starts off the match, he's going to be able to go output a lot of good damage. But outside of, like, he's just really situational, really situational, which I feel like just holds him back a lot. Now, Charlotte, some people will put Charlotte in S plus Z, depending on how you feel about him. Like, definitely SJ3 Charlotte is able to output a lot of good damage, but don't get it twisted. His time transformation holds him back, and his base transformation is so ass is that I just can't put him. I can never put him anywhere higher than that. Debatable S plus, because he is really good when he's an SSJ3, but no, time transformation and his base form being so, but I just never can put him any, like, definitely not gonna put him in Z, because I know some people were sliding him in Z when he first came out. I was like, yo, whoa, chill out there. So Buhan, all around a pretty solid offensive unit. Still think he's one of the best offensive units in the game. Still think he's a solid unit for Regen, but with no Fat Boo being there, I like the team. Like, Regen has kind of slid to more of a mixed defensive type offensive unit type team, but mostly more on the defensive side. And we're like, Buhan is like the only one of them like that doesn't heal every time, every second, like all the rest of the Regen units. So I guess he just kind of doesn't like fit in as much, but he still can be used on Regen team. Just like, no, Fat Boo is just like, he's just like better for like PvP, just as far as how much he can slow people down, and is that. So Hit, I call him the crit guide. Hit, the crit guard himself, still S tier. Hit's gonna be S tier for a while, man. Hit is just a phenomenal unit. Always people sleeping on his Hit. They're like, he doesn't have a team. I already said this multiple times, so many bit. I was like, bro, he was designed in the fact that he wasn't gonna have a team. That's why they built him to be so self-sufficient. I'm not even gonna get into that anymore. Bunny Boma, I actually really like Bunny Boma from what I select. She's really a solid all-around unit. I kind of was debating her putting her in A, but I think Bunny Boma is definitely S. I really do like the fact that her buffs are uncancelable. I didn't know that when I first actually looked at her kit. I just noticed that like 2 weeks ago. She's all around just a pretty solid unit. Yeah, she's a solid support unit. Like, she's probably like Hit's best friend as well. So there's that. Now, the movie Transforming Goku, not Transforming Goku, the movie Android 13 Goku that does the Absorb Spirit Bomb, he's all around just a decent unit. My homie's like always telling me to run this guy. I'm like, bro, like, shut up. Bro, I don't want to run this unit. Like, personally, he's good, right? He's able to defend, and if he's going up against an Android, he'll be able to do some solid blast damage, but he doesn't really do anything like too spectacular unless he's a last man standing unit, or unless it's like really late game. So there's that, but he's able to like, for his utility, he's still really able to like be a good option on the movie team as far as being a defensive option. Same thing with this yellow Bardock. He's also a pretty solid defensive option. None too crazy there. Now LF Gohan, right now LF Gohan has fallen from grace. Now I must say the thing about him is that he just like doesn't get enough damage buffs compared to a lot of units earlier in the game. So it's like he has to like keep getting those stack type buffs, and those units like those like stack type abilities slash passive are decent nowadays, but it has to be the right amount of like damage buff that they're getting, and it's just not enough to where he can sustain to be as powerful as some of the new units and whatever. But don't get it twisted, he's still a really really good last man standing unit. He's still able to wreck shit. Don't get it twisted, but he's definitely not like Z like he once was, but he's definitely an S tier. I don't think he's gonna leave S tier anytime soon, but definitely still not in Z like he once was. So there's that. So Blue Goku, not gonna really speak on him. He's just all around a pretty solid unit, able to tank, able to do some pretty decent damage mid the game, and then late game he's able to output some really solid crazy damage. And as far as that, that's pretty much all he really offers. But that's all. Like, he serves his role on Gaki pretty much solid 100% really well. Don't think he's gonna replace anytime soon. So Red Vegeta, honestly, he's just kind of meh in my personal opinion. Like Red Vegeta, I can honestly see him get slide down to A. I've never been really that crazy impressed with him. It was always just his lock-in, but like this is oh man, like all these lock-in units shit. He's just meh in my personal opinion. He's not too crazy. Regen, I definitely feel like Regen is eventually probably gonna have to get a new red option in my personal opinion. Like, cause Vegito is just like he's solid, but he's not saying he's outdated, but they need a new red option. Like, come on, they need a new red option at this point. So the transforming cooler, he's just kind of like he's good. He's a good tank unit. He'll be able to tank really solidly. But outside of that, he's nothing too crazy in my personal opinion. But he's definitely a really good tank, and what he provides for the team is really really solid. Being a semi-support unit as well. Full power Frieza, he's really really good. Full power Frieza. I actually used him a little bit earlier this season because I wanted to test out an LOE team. Still pretty solid. Honestly, the best thing about his kit up to this day is still that the fact that his ultimate, not his ultimate, but his special move, when as soon as you pop his main and then you go straight to his special move, it's still satisfying to use his special move in that, because he gives his special move 100% extra damage for like permanently until he actually uses it. So all around a good solid unit, good defensive unit, able to put out some really solid damage for a defensive unit. Yeah, pretty much what LOE like still like the reason why they're still able to hold up strong is because he's one of those solid defensive units. Don't see him as much as often, but still all around really really good. Like him with the new LF Frieza will actually be pretty solid, I think. A pretty solid duo. So there's that. So the transforming Trunks, he's all around pretty solid. Not a big fan of time transformation, but I do think that he's one of the more harder hitters in the game. But I feel like that his transformation just holds him back, being it timed. If he was a time, he'd be really crazy. But I do like that they decided to make him a semi-support unit as well. But all around, he's just kind of in the middle for me. He's really able to output or reside him. And taking in mind, this is one of my favorite units in the game. But like I said, I try not to be biased. I can't be biased here. So he's just offensive powerhouse, but outside of that, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. So Golden Frieza there. Golden Frieza, he's still the same killer, still able to outdo crazy damage. But I'm not gonna say he's falling off, but he always been a kind of a glass cannon. Don't get it twisted. He still will body any Saiyan at any time, but that's all he really just offers to the table at this point. He doesn't have any like crazy gimmicks or nothing too crazy like to where I could just slide him at S plus with some of the crazier guys up here who all have some type of stupid ability or just able to do something too crazy or the team builders is crazy or something like that, to where they're S or Z. So there's that in my personal opinion. So Zenkai Blue Broly, not really the biggest fan of this guy. He's one of those Zenkai I think you guys like have to get him more like Zenkai level more higher for him to be actually usable. In my personal opinion, he's just not really all that impressive. He's just okay, like he's decent because he has like the utility with his locking and stuff like that. But all around, I'm just not really a big fan of him. So the next unit, LF Goten personally, I still think that he's better than LF SJ3 Goku. Changed my mind. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just being honest, bro. Like this guy is still able to output some really, really solid blast damage, really, really good blast unit. Only thing is that his team build is so restrictive about him building around just a Gohan and a Goku. So he's just always just going to be designed for only Sun Family to be at his best, where he could be at his best. But when you run him on Sun Family, his damage is still pretty insane. But I do feel like yeah, he is super defensively weak in my personal opinion. I think that's one thing that holds him back, and that the team is just really restrictive around him. But all around, he's just still one of the more like harder hitter blast units in the game. And you build the team around him, his the Sun family as a core as well is not really that good anymore too. They need a new solid Gohan, and they don't need a new Goku mostly. They just need a new solid Gohan in my personal opinion, and they will really help them out a lot. So there's that. So I think that's it for as far as units I'm going to talk about here. Like the rest of the units that are there, like they're just okay units. Like they're like these. Don't get me twisted. Like Android 17, like he's good. Super 17 is good. The Zenkai Awakened Goku is pretty solid as far as anything else. But the rest of these units, like I think I've talked about it enough. Now you guys can see like all the competitive units and stuff like that. So it's your boy Kai Go Light Sky for more content. Tell me what you guys think about this tier list. Tell me if you guys like this format that I'm using. Tell me if you guys thought it was too much or if you guys didn't like it. I'm definitely gonna try and switch it up and stuff like this because this is my first time actually building my own tier list. So yeah, I feel like it is a lot easier to do these videos when the tier list is already set up for you. So that's maybe why it may seem like it's kind of a little bit all over the place to you. So it is that. But if you guys low liked it, just tell me. If you guys didn't like it, then sure, whatever. Like there's always next month, right? I can always just think about how I can make it better. Yeah. So it's your boy. I already said my outro. I do this shit all the time. I'm out. Hope you guys have a good day, and yeah, ending the video here.